Hello friends, welcome again back to another beautiful tutorial. How you all doing, guys? Hope you're all good today. So today, guys, I want to show you how to make this very beautiful dress. Okay, very stylish. That's that fringe effect on the lowest part, and of course a mixed print on the upper part as well. So yeah, I'm working with this African prints, and the plain fabric I'm working with is a crepe fabric. Yeah, so of course, along with my working tools, so what I'll do now is just to go ahead now and lay my fabric on the table so that we can get started. Okay, yeah, so I'll set this aside. So for my fabric, I'm just going ahead to make a double fold, then fold again, making it into 4. So I'm going to have 4 folds here, trying to cut off the edges there so that we can get started. All right, so now for this, before we even start our cutting process, we have to mix our fabric with the plain fabric. Okay, yes, so what I'm doing now is I'm indicating 8 inches. Okay, now when you indicate 8 inches, from these 8 inches you can actually know the length of the sleeve. But one thing I want you to know is that for the length of the sleeve, I later increased it, but along the line you understand better. Okay, I later extended the length of the sleeve, so this width is not actually the width that gave me the length of my sleeve. So I want you to understand that first. Okay, so what I want to do first now is to mix my plain fabric with my print before we even start cutting. So now from the top there, I'm going to measure 8 inches. Okay, measuring 8 inches from the top. So I'll mark that down like so, 8 inches. Then from the side there, I'm going to measure 12 inches. Okay, 8 inches from the top, then from the unfold 12 inches. Okay, yeah, so vertical 8 inches, horizontal 12 inches. So I'll go ahead now and extend the line just like you see me doing. After that, I will connect all my points together so you can see this. I'll do the same thing for the horizontal. And yeah, so the idea is this box we have here now is going to be replaced with the plain fabric, 8 inches by 12 inches. So that's what we have. So of course, to achieve this now, I have to cut through this out. I have to cut it out. Okay, now for me to get a good cut, which means I have to also extend that line to the other edge, then I'll go ahead and cut it out just like you see me doing. So after extending it, I'm cutting through, then I also have to cut the other part as well. So you can see we have separated this now into 3 parts. You can see. So the parts I'm holding now will be replaced with the plain fabric. Okay. So I'll go ahead now and set the other ones aside first so that I can replace this. So replacing it with my plain fabric, of course, I have to open it up. You know, we have it in 2 pieces. So I'll just go ahead and cut it out. You can see I'm cutting it out now. So once we have this now, so which means this main fabric now will be discarded. We don't need it again. So we have replaced it with the plain fabric. So trying to fix it, arrange it the way it was before we cut it. You can see the view now. All right. Of course, to put everything together means we have to start sewing it back together again. All right. For me to do this now, I have to spread my plain fabric, just spread it out in the length that is like this. Okay, then the smaller piece I'm holding there, I have to separate it. So this smaller piece now, we have it into 4 pieces. Okay, one part is joined, so I have to open it up. So we have it in 4 pieces, and don't forget, you need to identify the front and the back so that you don't mix it up, right? So what we're going to do now, 2 pieces now will be for the front, 2 pieces for the back, which means I'll be using 1 piece, attach it to one end, and I'll take another piece, attach it to the other end. Just follow what I'm doing. It's a very simple process. You can see attaching 1 piece on both ends and repeating the same thing on the other side. You can see I'm using my pin to hold this down. So once I'm done, you can see what I have. So you can see, yeah. So this is it, guys. So I'll just go ahead now and go to my sewing machine and, sew it all up, clean up the edges, give this a good press, then I'll come back to show you the next step. Let's go. And of course, at this point, I've done that. You can see I've cleaned it all up. Okay, so you can see how it's looking now. It's separated, one for the front, one for the back. You can see now. All right, so going ahead to arrange it the way it is. So you go ahead now and sew it back to this lowest part. So the lowest part, we just have one side unfold, so I have to slit it open as well. So doing that now, then I'll take one piece and attach it to each piece, okay, because they are just the same thing. So you can see I'm notching the center, okay, just to make sure that it aligns very well. Then I'll open the lower fabric, also get the center of this lower part as well. Then you go ahead and align it just like you see me do. You can see I'm aligning it at the center. I've already notched the lowest part as well. So align it, use your pin. It's very important. Just work with your pin. It will help you to make sure that you have aligned your fabric very well and you see how it looks even before you sew. So you can see, just go ahead and make a straight sew, and this is what it will look like. So I'll go ahead and finish this, and I'll also do the same thing for the other side as well. Okay, yeah, I'll go finish this up. Then of course I'll come back to show you how it looks. And this is it, guys. You can see we're done. We're fixing our plain fabric in between now, and this is the same thing for both the front and the back. I've cleaned it up, very important, and giving this a good press. So now at this point we can now start cutting. So all I need to do now is to bring my pieces together. Just fold it into two equal parts. So one will be for the front and another one for the back. Just make sure that you align it properly, like so. Okay, so I had to fold it, align it very well, and of course I gave this a very good press just to make sure that your fabric is in place. You can see this. So once I'm done with this process now, then we can go ahead and start the actual cutting. So from the edge now, I'm just taking 1 inch for the slope, marking that down. Then I'll go ahead at the unfold edge, I'll mark 3 inches. Then I'll connect my slope. So marking 3 inches there. Then I'll go ahead and mark my slope. So that's it. So after that now, the next thing now is to fix the neck measurements. So for the neck width, I'm going to be working with 4. But if you want to achieve that close neck effect, like you see on the thumbnail, you can work with 3 inches for the neck width, okay? But I am working with 4 because this is what the person wants. Working with 4 inches for the neck width. Then the neck depth, this one for the back, I'm working with 2. Neck width of 4, neck depth of 2. So this is for the back piece, okay? Neck width of 4, neck depth of 2. Then for the front, I'm using a neck depth of 7. So of course, I will advise you also, whatever neckline you're using, make sure that you use your pin to just hold it down and be sure that it can pass through the head properly before you go ahead and stitch. I hope you understand. So that's what I worked with here, okay? Then the next thing now is for the sleeve opening. So from the slope, I'm using a sleeve opening of 10. So we're using a sleeve opening of 10. Remember I told you at the beginning that I'm still going to extend the length. I did that much later, okay? Because initially I worked with this shorter length, but later on, in order to get the exact length of the sleeve on the thumbnail, I had to extend it, okay? Now, which is totally optional. I hope you understand. It is depending on your desired length. So now I'm going ahead to fix the body circumference. So for the bust there, I marked it 8 divided by 4, which is 9. Then I added extra 4 inches because it's meant to be a free one. You can do lesser. You can add 3 inches, you can add 2 inches, depending on how free you want it on you, okay? Then for the lowest part, I fixed in the hip circumference, which is 40. I divided it by 4, and that was 10. Then of course I also added that extra 4 inches I'm working with as well. So this is just for us to get that ease. Then after that, then to give it an A-line effect, then you can add 3 to 5 inches, 3 to 5 inches. So at this point I added 5 inches, but later on I later reduced it. Yeah, I later reduced it when I was sewing this. I later reduced it to 3 inches. So 3 to 5 inches to find to give it that A-line effect. Okay, so went ahead to connect it from the chest line all the way to the end of the dress. Now in between my waist and hip, I just made an outer curve. So this is a cut together pocket. Okay, yeah, the fabric wasn't so much, so because I know there's going to be a sewing allowance, so the depth of the pocket is still reasonable. Okay, yeah, so just you can see I'm putting my hand just to see if it will really be deep, or it was really okay. Yeah, so that's it guys, like that is it. So we're just going ahead now to cut all this piece out. So guys, this is the point you hit that subscribe button in case you've not done that yet. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share with your friends, share with your sewing communities. I'll appreciate this. Okay, this will go a long way to really help this channel. Don't just watch and go further to like, share and subscribe. I appreciate this a lot. Okay, thank you so much. So here you can see now I've gone ahead to cut this out. Like I said, I initially was going to work with this length, but later on, in order to extend the length to be longer, like to have what you have on the thumbnail, so I had to add an extra fabric. That's just because if you have to cut to the exact fabric length, you end up wasting the fabric. So you have to attach an extra piece of fabric on just the sleeve parts. I hope you understand. Yeah, just to save the fabric. So yeah, going ahead to cut this out. So I've cut off for the back neckline, and here we have for the front neckline. So you can see guys, we're done. We're done. You can see what the front view looks like. You can see this, and of course the back. So the next thing of course is to cut out facing. So I'll just use facing to turn up my neckline. That's just the next thing I'll do. So once I'm done with my facing, then you can go ahead now and join the shoulders. Okay, just place it front to back, right side to right side, then you go ahead and join the shoulders. That's just what we're going to do next. So I'll go ahead and finish this up. And so when I was done joining the shoulder, this is what we have. You can see what we have here. So I've joined the shoulder. This is looking all good already. You can see. Yeah, so look at what the back view looks like. Okay, so now we can go ahead now and fix the band for the sleeve. Fix the band for the sleeve. So like I said, if you want to extend the length, this is probably the right time to fix an extra fabric. I see the way it is now. Just fix an extra fabric to make up for the length, for the exact length. But if you're working with a shorter length, fine. It totally depends on what you want. Okay, yeah. So for this band, and what I have is a width of 6 inches. Now this band is supposed to be extend the length as well. So whatever you have as your length, just make sure you minus 2.5. Okay, because this band we are fixing now is going to give you an extra 2 inches. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, so now we have 6 inches in width. So what we are going to do now is to go ahead and you'll be sewing from the inside. That's from the wrong side. So the right side of the plain fabric is what's being sewn on the wrong side of the main fabric. I hope you understand. We are just practically sewing from the wrong side. You can see now I'm using my pin to hold this down to demonstrate. You can see this. So once you're done like so, once you sew like this, now you bring it to the front, then you fold 0.5 inches, then you top stitch on the same line that you have sewn. You can see what I'm doing. So automatically now you see that the band has extended the sleeve. I hope you can see this. So the band has extended the sleeve like so. You can see. So that's why I said whatever your sleeve length is, make sure you minus 2.5 inches or even 2 inches depending on the width of the band, because we're using 6 inches. So you can see now the extension of the band is 2.5 after we're done sewing. So that's it guys. You can see. Yeah, so we'll do the same thing for both sides, and that's it. And this is the final look. You can see what this looks like. So once you're done, this is looking all beautiful after after ironing it. So give it a good structure. You can fix in some hemming gum in between. You know, the extension of the sleeves is giving it an opening like a casing, so you can insert an hemming gun in between before ironing. And this is what it looks like. So once you're done, just go ahead and join the sides all the way, okay, and do the same thing for the other side as well. It's that simple. We're almost done here. So after that, you just hem the lowest part, and that will be it, guys. But of course, remember, we're going to be attaching a fringe, okay? So after sewing it all, you can go ahead now and now attach your fringe. Or an easier way is to what? Hem the lowest part separately. That's front and back separately. After hemming it separately, then you can now fix the fringe. Okay, just put the fringe in between, that's on the lowest part, then you top stitch just like that, and you see me demonstrating. Yeah, it's that simple. So once you top stitch, do the same thing for the other side, then you can now go ahead and join the side. But in order not to waste your fringe, you want to take note of the inches you're going to use to join the side, so that when you're fixing your fringe, you're not going to extend it to the very end. I hope you understand. Yeah, so that's it, guys, on how to make this very beautiful one. If you find this helpful, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you on the next one, guys. Have a beautiful day. Bye.